Hey everyone, it's Marco here, and I'm back once again with some management and strategy game news, starting with Planet Zoo 2. Yes folks, it's happening, and I'm very excited for this one. Frontier Developments dropped the announcement with a release date locked in for October 13th for PC and console. The big headline additions are the aquariums, fully aquatic species, and free flight aviaries. Basically all the things the community has been asking for since 2019. The studio also mentioned that the sequel will place a much stronger focus on conservation, allowing you to build wildlife reserves and release animals back into nature. It's adorable. Besides the gameplay side of things though, the sequel will also come with better animations, more complex herd behaviors, and the animals will interact better with their habitats. Overall, I'm very excited for this game, so mark your calendars for October 13th if you love the original or you just want some management game goodness. Speaking of which, if you're liking this new series, perhaps leave a like or comment, or maybe even subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things management and strategy game related. Now, another great announcement is Stronghold 4 is coming later this year from the studio Firefly. The city-building real-time strategy game will be a prequel to the 2001 original, following a shepherd named Penryn rising through the medieval England ranks. It's going to be built on Unreal Engine 5, which is but it's coming with a 22-mission campaign voiced by cast members from both Baldur's Gate 3 and Clair Obscur. Early access hits Steam later this year, with a free demo landing on June 23rd. Plus, multiplayer and co-op is coming post-launch at full release. So yeah, I'm very excited for this one and can't wait to see what it's all about. Following that, Manor Lords is getting some competition thanks to the solo developer Johannes Kwadzinski, who unveiled a new title called Bergfried, a medieval castle builder that was revealed during IGN Live. It's got this cool looking organic city building system that lets you trace your walls along the actual landscape, the way the real European cities were built, which, yeah, pretty cool. I gotta say though, from the trailer footage alone, the game is looking great and it's right down my alley. Here you've got settlement management, resource gathering, as well as full siege battles. No set release date yet, but it's coming to PC and you can join the playtest now if that's your thing. Now for something no one was expecting, Paradox Interactive might be making a Lego themed city builder. You know Paradox, that same publisher that did wonders for City Skylines 2? Well, 2 weeks ago, the Game Rating and Administration Committee of Korea has rated the unannounced LEGO Skylines by Paradox Interactive. Not many details on that yet, however, that naming convention has me thinking they'll be bringing a LEGO-themed entry into the Cities Skylines franchise. I'm very confused, nervous, but also kind of excited in a way, and I can't wait to see where this will be going. We saw how City Skylines 2 went, so let's hope they don't go down the same route. Now for my strategy fans out there, the popular Nine Kings game has now a multiplayer mode in their epic kingdom building auto battler. 9 players will go head to head in this asynchronous format, where the last kingdom standing will get some points and climb a 9-tier global leaderboard. It comes with seasons, medals, and even cosmetics if that's your thing. It's also coming to mobile later this year, and even though it's still in early access, the updates are coming in fast and heavy, with it still sitting on very positive reviews on Steam. I love the single player mode, but the multiplayer is just as fun, so go check it out if you want some game-breaking fun, except now you can play against real people. In taking it a step back and chilling things out, next up, Focus Entertainment and Broken Arms Games have announced BioEden, this cozy solar punk management game where you'll be rebuilding ecosystems on a dying planet. This means you'll be reviving extinct animals, managing power grids, purifying water, and connecting biomes in a self-sustaining world. The last title that Broken Arms game made was Under Par Golf Architect, which was this golf course management game, which wasn't bad, but here's hoping Focus Entertainment can help them out this time around. Overall, I'm liking the look of this game, and BioEden is out on the 3rd of September for PC, with console versions coming in later. Also, a free demo is already live on Steam if you want to go try it out now. Then for another game that got my attention straight away is Neighborhoods, which is this very interesting city builder game that's more of a fixer-upper than a pure city builder. What first caught my eye was the visuals. It's got this claymation type of aesthetic that I think is It helps it stand out quite a bit, but also just the gameplay itself, where you'll be adding in parks or these third spaces, cleaning up the roads so that people don't get run over, and just trying to make this neighborhood or the city just a more livable space. It's very interesting. The developers, Eline Media, they haven't given an announcement yet of when it will be released, but I'm liking what I see so far. The studio is keeping things small, so you'll just be doing things block by block, adding bike lanes, pocket parks, murals, local businesses, making sure that people can live in a nice and happy place. Looks very interesting, and I'm keeping my eye out on this one. However, if you do want to play something right now, great news is that Town to City is out of early access and has just had its full 1.0 release at the end of May. The new update came with a bunch of new updates, as well as including a new map. Now you've got hotels, new decorations, and a whole lot more. The game is sitting currently at overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, and it's so easy to see why. Just give it a go. It's so relaxing. It's a city builder that caught my attention way back in the demo, and it's great to see how far the Studio Galaxy Grove have come. So definitely go check it out if you're into city building and want one with a very much more of a laid-back vibe. But if those charming graphics and gameplay are just too cozy for you, well, Socialiskigrad, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, might be worth putting on your radar. This post-socialist 90s city builder inspired by the Balkans reminds me a lot of Workers and Resources, except now it's going to be a lot less complex. Yeah, there's not going to be any automation or crazy things going on, it's just a pure city builder. However, in the game, you'll still be managing various resources, including the municipal treasury, food supplies, security, corruption, citizen services, healthcare, propaganda, and education. According to the indie dev Sugrisoft, inspiration of the game came from their travels in Serbia and Bulgaria. I'm loving the vibe of the game, and even though there's no set release date for Socialiskigrad, I will still be keeping my eye out for this one. But then onto some recent releases in the management and strategy world, and first up is Paralives, which came out into early access on the 25th of May. Now, I grew up playing The Sims, so it was very hard to ignore this game. 7 years of community-funded development, no paid DLC promise, and a grid-free building system that lets you build out curved walls and split-level floors made me realize that this is more than just a clone of its closest competitor. The Parafolk creator is very impressive, and the open world neighborhood with its Stardew Valley style community gives it a personality that EA's cash machine has been missing for years. However, that being said, it might still be a bit too early in the early access phase, as it's just got a bit too many bugs and performance issues that the devs haven't fully addressed yet. That being said though, I'm very happy it's here and excited to see where it's going. During the recording of this video, it's sitting with very positive reviews on Steam, with many saying it scratches that Sim 4 itch despite all those issues. The full release is expected to come around in 2028, so if you can handle the bugs and hopefully there'll be more updates along the way, Paralives might just be the Sims rival we've all been waiting for. And for my hungry factory automation fans out there, on the 4th of June we finally saw the release of Snacktorio. In the game, you'll be building automated cooking factories across 6 islands, feeding hungry monsters to stop them eating you instead. One reviewer said it's a more relaxed version of Mindustry, while another said it's like Factorio except you're reverse engineering your builds. Either way, it's more of a puzzle-like game rather than something open-ended, with it coming with over 55 levels to play through. The studio behind the game, Hellraiser, they've got a great track record for management games like this, with Mudborn and Apico both being great hidden gems worth checking out. However, they've kept their charming pixel art feel to this title, and also those devs are donating a portion of proceeds to food bank charities, which is a nice little touch going on. The reviews are sitting at very positive during the recording of this video, so if you're looking for a laid-back factory builder, Snacktorio might just be your cup of tea. Then for something with a bit more action, on the 25th of May, Enter the Chronosphere released into early access on Steam, along with some very positive feedback. I've been following this game since the Next Fest demo came out, and honestly, it hasn't disappointed me. This one's a turn-based bullet hell roguelike where time only moves when you do. So bullets just hang in the air while you need to figure out where to move next, and the second you act, absolute chaos goes on around you. Yes, it's basically Super Hot meets Enter the Gungeon, and I'm not complaining. You pick from a crew of misfits, my bear being still the favorite, and you need to fight your way through procedurally generated chronospheres, each harder than the last, until you die, reset, and go again with slightly better knowledge of your own terrible decisions. Someone called it a Hades for tactics sickos, and I don't think that that's far off. It's currently sitting with an 87% of positive reviews on Steam, and critics are praising the build diversity and psychedelic art style, and I guess the only issue being that there's no native controller support yet, but Steam Deck players are saying that it runs fine there, so that's good news. But overall, Enter the Chronosphere is just a great game worth checking out, especially if you love your bullet hells, but you just want it a little bit different. Then I guess sticking to the space theme, Starminer, one of the most anticipated space games this year, came out on the 27th of May, and I guess the results were mixed, with it sitting with mostly positive reviews on Steam right now. In the game, you'll be building modular drilling platforms piece by piece, lasering asteroids across 3 star systems, and automating these ore delivery chains. However, the pace is slow, so don't go in expecting action non-stop. Also, because it's an early access, you're gonna have to expect some bugs along the way. Most reviews are saying it feels more like a beta build of the game. So yeah, if you can handle that, you're gonna have a lot of fun here. Others are saying that it's like EVE Online, but you're just focusing on the mining aspect of the game, which I just have to say looks great and runs very smoothly. But yes, don't go into it expecting no issues, and I'd say this will be for players wanting to invest in a game that has a lot of potential, which this one certainly does have. I would say though, if you're looking for something similar, maybe go check out the indie gem called Delta V Rings of Saturn if you want something a bit more fleshed out, but I'd still like to see where Starminer ends up. Then on the 26th of May, Teamfight Manager 2 came out, and it's currently sitting with some mixed reviews. It's from the Korean indie studio Team Samoyed, where this game follows the same premise as the original, where you'll be coaching an esports team. In the game, you'll be scouting for players, drafting champions, and then if you know any of Dota or League tactics, you'll be managing the top, the jungle, the mid, the bottom, the support roles, things like that, and then watching your team execute them brilliantly or just failing miserably. The player stats will now be influencing AI decision making across the matches rather than just raw damage numbers, which makes the roster building feel a bit more meaningful. So then why the mixed reviews? Well, many are claiming that the player stats don't matter and the AI is useless, while others are saying that that's kind of what real pro gamers are like in top competitions. So yeah, this could mean some frustration for the majority of players out there, so perhaps wait a bit as the devs are very active with those patches and updates. Overall, it's a title with great potential and worth checking out if you're a fan of games like Dota or League of Legends, but now you'll be running the show. But then if you want a game where you'll be in on the action, well, on the 27th of May, Echo Generation 2 came out with mostly positive reviews. What starts out as a dad taking his family on vacation ends as a galaxy-spanning sci-fi mystery with 6 playable characters, each with their own deck and story chapters. To me, the visual style is so cool, blending in pixels and voxels all over the place in this turn-based deck builder. What's great though is that each hero plays differently, and the way the isolated chapters eventually converge into one is the kind of storytelling that you don't often see in a game. The critics are giving it mostly positive, sitting at around 78 on OpenCritic, with many saying its strong points are the story, the great deck building mechanics, and it just looks very cool. Overall though, Echo Generation 2 is just a great mix of multiverse storytelling, stylish retro visuals, and a surprisingly deep deck building combat that's all combined into a charming sci-fi adventure. And for my 4X grand strategy players out there, Atre Dominance Wars came out on the 8th of June. You start out as a sorcerer, work your way up to Elder, and if everything goes right, you'll eventually ascend to full godhood with spells powerful enough to physically reshape the map. In the game, you'll be building cities, forging artifacts, leveling up hero avatars, commanding armies, the whole shebang. The world itself is procedurally generated based on your attributes during your character creation, so every run will be shaping up differently right from the get-go. It also comes with this clever betrayal mechanic where the moment anyone gets close to winning, every alliance in the game will immediately become a liability. So yes, there was a lot of expectation for this to be a solid title, but it's another one of those games that might need a bit longer in the oven, if you know what I mean. With few stating the tutorials, the UI, the AI behavior, it all needs a bit more work. It's still very new, so hopefully more updates will be coming. So I'd say it's still worth checking out Atre Dominance Wars if you are a fan of the 4X strategy genre and you want this fantasy action in your face. Enough with the new releases, what's coming up soon? Well, on the 10th of June, which, I mean, it should be out already, Artificial Extinction 2 comes out, which is this tower defense hybrid that looks quite interesting. It's set in a time where our worst fears become a reality, and our AI overlords are now ruling the day. In the game, you'll be playing as a sentient AI commander, leading your troops on a mission of survival. You'll need to build up strong defenses, manage your economy, your resources, and fend off enemies as long as possible, or at least until extraction. The turrets and the drones in the game look very cool, and if poop hits the fan and critical data decrypts, you'll need to holler at the mothership for an early extraction. It also blends tower defense with first-person shooter action, so you can move between real-time strategy control and FPS combat, which again, very cool. I like to see where this is going. So if fighting off relentless swarms of enemies with a little bit of first-person shooter spice is your jam, well then look out for Artificial Extinction 2. Following that, on the 11th of June is this building and space exploration game with one of the best titles ever, SpaceCraft. This game looks very cool and a lot of fun, where here you'll start in a company outpost about to explore an uncharted galaxy. You can go wherever you want and the adventure is yours to do either solo or with a friend. But then you'll need to search for resources or habitable planets in which you can build your own base if you wanna, or you can leave your friends behind. But anyway, you'll also then need to automate production and refine the resources that you've gathered, or pimp your ride and make your spacecraft as epic as you want it. Your success will be determined by your assets, so you kinda need to sell out if you wanna roll with the big dogs. It's coming to early access on the 11th of June, so very interested to see where it goes. So if you want a serious co-op or solo exploration game, SpaceCraft might be the one to check out. Then on the same day, if you want some real-time strategy action, look no further than Tabletop Tavern. I played the demo where it's like this total war real-time strategy game where it all takes place on this tabletop in a tavern, but it is so much fun. It comes with different biomes and you'll be just waging war with your hero and just a whole lot more going on. What is great is that the devs have been actively listening to the community. Like for example, they've added in 3 more battlefield biomes, so now it comes with even more variety and just, yeah, it's very cool to see where this is going to be going. If you do love Total War or just real-time strategy games in general, this one is one to look out for. It's one of those I feel like will be a hidden gem and not worth missing out on. Then rounding up these upcoming games is Copa City, which is dropping on the 16th of June. It's this football management game that I was so excited about seeing all the gameplay videos, but after playing the demo, it did feel a bit more like a mobile game experience. So instead of just the hardcore management where you're moving things around and building things, you're still doing it, but it feels very hands-off in a way. So I'd say maybe just keep it on your radar. Maybe the devs will be changing things along the way, but I'm just putting it here because I want you to be aware of it, but also just be a bit wary of where it may go. So Copa City, 16th of June, let's see where it goes. But what games did I miss out on? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like or even subscribe. A big shout out to my channel members. You guys always mean so much to me. But other than that, it's Marco here from Easily Distracted Games. And as always, don't stop gaming.